Welcome to the presentation. We're going to focus on the import area of the electronic and high-tech solution. So the challenge is for a lot of companies, how do we take a complex electronic design, as an example, and get it into a PLM solution? The challenge often is that you cannot just straight import it, because then you overwrite the history. So in order to support that, we have developed a tool where you can, in a simplistic way, import the new design into ARAS, but import it onto a change order, which enables you to maintain the history and route the change through a process. When you've got a CAD system, and often an electronic CAD system, you are able to export that to an Excel file. With the import tool, we will then compare the new design in the Excel format with what already exists inside ARAS. And the differences between the two are the changes, and they will then automatically be put on a change order, so an engineer change order. Here's a simplistic example where you've got a whole range of components inside an Excel file, and this Excel file is then used to import. The import tool takes you through a guide where you can import both bill of material, the approved manufacturers list, the parts as well. So it basically takes you through a guide as to how you're doing that import and performs the import as well. In more detail, you can see here by clicking on the import tool section of the electronic and high-tech solution, you're provided with three different choices. If you choose the bill of material file, you're then able to import the Excel file that you saw just before. This takes you then through the process of importing all of that information into ARAS. Once it is imported, then it is automatically creating a change order, as you see down here. In brackets you can see that it comes from the import tool and it is currently in work. You then have to go in and verify that you're actually content with those changes by completing the process, and that is your new released design. Let's show that in the system. So we're going to log in. We're going to show you the existing product that already is released inside ARAS. Then we're going to go through the import. We're going to find the ECO, run the ECO through the process, and see how it applies the changes. We've logged into the ARAS system. We open up our design section, our paths, and then we'll do a simple search for an import. We've made a simplistic product to illustrate how we're doing the import and how it applies the changes. Here we see our PCBA design. We can go to the bill of material structure to see how it currently looks. It's a single level bill of material, and it has got these 5 components as you see on the screen. The changes that we're going to apply is that, even though it might not be perfectly relevant, we're going to import a subsection for this structure, where you put in a subassembly into the electronic design. So now you've seen it, you can see that it's currently in release, you can see that the current revision is J. If I close this window down, I go to my import tool. Inside the import tool, I now need to find where have I extracted my bill of material file to from my electronic CAD system. So I click the browse button, I allocate the correct file, I open it up. Now I need to check the format of the Excel file, so by clicking the check all, it is now checking the files to ensure that the format is okay. It acknowledges that by stating upload successful. I click the process all, and that now starts processing the files to identify what changes that has been done. I'll click add to ECO. I'll do this demo change as an example. By doing this, I can now go to the import analysis to show me what has it actually identified that it should import as a part of this change. So I can both look at the paths, at the BOM, and at the AML. We're not importing the AML, therefore it's empty. I can click on the Start Import, import it into ARAS. What it's now doing is that it's applying the differences between our import design and what is currently inside ARAS. If I want to see these things, I go into the change, I do a search. I can see in the bottom half now my import tool with the demo change has currently been created. I can go into view. This takes me into the change process to illustrate here on the impact matrix what has it actually identified that it should include as part of this change. The next thing I can do is now go to the sign off tab. So if I am content with this, I can now move the design along. Because it is still in preliminary, it is still a simple change process that we're doing. I have to apply my password again, click the complete button, and now we're done. So what we have now been doing is that we have taken a new EDA design from a CAD system, imported that in through the import tool, and if I go back to my parts and I search, I can see that it has bumped up the revision to K up here. If I go to my bill of material structure, I can now see that it has included the sub-assembly as we spoke about. This is a fast way to get this included without having to go through an expensive CAD integration and without having the rigor of doing it manually with the potential errors that they include. So if we're ending off, we logged in, we found our import product, we performed the import, we found the ECO and looked at the changes, we ran it through the process, and we saw how it applied the changes. This concludes this next demonstration. Please go to the ARAS or Minerva website for more information. Thank you.